The episode starts with Princess Yuri in the Demon Kingdom, accompanied by the second daughter of the Gretsch family, the fourth daughter of the Bugel family, and the second daughter of the Mamonrose family. They discuss the village's increasing military strength and nefarious plans, and how they will persuade Florim to stay there as a hostage if needed. They decide to immediately gather their forces to defeat the village and save Florim. When Florim was working, a man approached her and informed her that the princess was gathering her forces and preparing for a military campaign. Florim was shocked, and the man explained that some of the followers took the opportunity to fill her head with half-truths. When Florim learned that the girls were the ones who did it, she was shocked because they were politically powerful girls. She was afraid that they would attack the village because it had given them a lot of reports and they needed to know the extent of the village's power, which was ironically laughable. He told her that he thought the reports were so ridiculous that they were starting to look unreal, and he tried to get the Demon King to put a stop to it, but he was too lenient with his daughter. Florim thought about going to them to convince them to stop. He told her that they would see her as an enemy of the Demon Kingdom, but he wanted her to stop their attack because they would move tomorrow, and their number was 300 men. He was trying to ask someone in the village to defeat their forces so that they would surrender and return home. She told him that if they were concerned about the villagers who discover this war would end in the violent destruction of the Demon Kingdom, and there would be a problem. All she needs to do is show them the difference in military strength. The next day, the three girls go to the village in a different form and they wanted to attack the village, but then they went to Hirako, and Florim told Hirako that they wanted to move here, as they completely changed their minds and they are all ready to work themselves to death. Then Princess Yuri appears with them, as she came because she was worried about Florim in this village. And Florim tells him that she does not need to give her any special treatment, and he makes her work on the basis that she will leave soon, so he asked her to make them roam the village and then left them to go to his work. And if they want to keep this a secret from the rest of the villagers, they must not reveal their identities, and the princess does not receive any special treatment here. Princess Yuri and her assistants are dazzled by the beauty of the village, the crops, and the fruits. Solia sees them and gives them apple fruit. Yuri says that she never ate apples except at parties in the castle, and then they enter this hut, and there they meet a lot of dragons, and she welcomes them very well, so they rejoice in her very much. And they find that they will have to stay in this village until an opportunity comes for them to escape, and at night they try to escape, but the dogs stop them and try again, so Zaptun stops them. So Florim divides her office work among them, and the next day Florim goes with Yuri to the wolves of hell, and Florim manipulates them. Then Yuri grabbed a plate and threw it away to play with these wolves and told Florim that she saw so many surprises in this village and that she could not believe that such a world existed outside the demon realm, as she was so ignorant of the outside world that she tried to bring war and strife to such a wonderful peaceful place. Florim said to her that before anyone tries to raise any weapon on this village, he should expect to find himself on the receiving end of the dragon's fire, and that she warned everyone not to get involved in this village, and the Demon King should have warned her as well. So I told her that she tried to do that because she was hiding from the kingdom, and she heard that she would become a hostage, and she was worried about her a lot, and asked her not to treat her in an official way, because they were friends for a very long time, so Florim regretted her and promised that she would stay with her here from now on. And I took her to go back to eat their food, and at night the girls sit to rest from their work because this work is very hard, but the food in this village is wonderful and they like it a lot. Then Ro shows up to check on them, and Hirako asks her if she's been this high all day. And this girl says this is work for common people. Stop it, princess. These girls are surprised and say, princess. She told them, why wasn't that a secret? And now I want you all to join me and help me. This girl told her, but our specialty is office work. The princess says, I have learned a lot from all of you during my time here in this village. This girl says to her, will you leave now? She said to her, I'm sorry, I promised to visit you again, and you thank them all, and tell them not to forget to come to visit us. And you talk to the girls and say, don't you all come home? This girl told her there are still things to learn in this village and a lot of work to do, so we must stay here. And this person says to her, we should leave now, and she says goodbye. She told them I will see you again sometime, and leaves them and goes. Hirako says it seems that she enjoyed her time here. Speaking the devil, he says since Bezel came back from the castle, she has become a bit different. He said to him, even if I try to have a conversation with her, she does not allocate time for me. He told him, it seems that the princess began to take an interest in politics and diplomacy a long time ago. Girls tend to grow into adults before their parents realize that. The devil said, surprised, exaggerated, "Don't tell me that she met a man? Who is he? I am the great demon king, I will tear him apart myself." He told her that this situation will make her hate you one day, and now it is time for the meeting and we go to show her what an amazing father you are. Speaking Hirako, he says, shortly after Yuri left, we started harvesting crops before winter, and this was the result. Hirako shows all these crops and says, "When did all this happen?" Tia said, "We harvested so much that this is not suitable for storage here." He told her, "I'm glad we harvested a good crop, but still." And this girl says, "Will it be okay if we send some extras to my dad?" Hirako told her, "Yeah, let's do it." Leah says, "Can we send some to my dad, too?" He told her, "This is fine for me, but who are your parents?" From my point of view, she told her, "They are grandparents. My father lives in the northern continent while my mother lives in the south, so it will be a bit out of the way." Tia said, "They are two dragons living in the north and south? Could it be the Imperial Dragon Dawes and the Tornado Dragon Raimilan?" She said to her, "You're exaggerating. Is that really what you guys call it?" Tia said, "I never imagined dragons were related this way." Speaking Hirako, he says that last he stopped at Dream's place to deliver the food we shared with him, and then continued to the city of Shichoto to drop off the crops we were sending there. And Michael asked her to exterminate a monster that was attacking merchant ships. Leah says, "I have to take some meat home as thanks for taking care of this monster." These are definitely the things you were talking about. That means we'll have hot chanko tonight. Meanwhile, Hakorin headed north. On her way back, she found some people who wanted to move to our village. This girl named Ya appears, the leader of this group. Dark fairies told her? She told him what is referred to us as mountain fairies. He said, "This is my fault, please forget about it." Leah says they can all use fire and they eat me too. She said, "Hey, we live in the mountains, but lately we have to find food." She told him that they looked like they were having some problems. "So I thought things might be easier for them." Hirako said, "What should we do?" She tells him no one really has space to help strangers these days. "If we cause you trouble, we will leave immediately." He said to her, "That's not what I meant. I was just trying to think of a plan in a hurry. We have to know where you're going to sleep so we can build but a house and other things like that. I was just thinking about who I should talk to so I can arrange everything if you want to live here, so we glad to have you." She said to him, "We will sleep on the ground here." He told her, "We cannot do that." Thus, a group of mountain fairies became residents of our village. She told him, "We will go to get food on our own. After all, we are good hunters, and the dog attacks her, saying, 'I am so sorry, we couldn't be more helpful to you.'" Hirako says, "Are you okay? Isn't there something wrong with this forest?" He said to her, "If it's too much for you, please don't hurt yourselves." She said to him, "You are so kind. What are you doing?" He said to her, "I was hoping it would be possible to make some pottery in the village. Now we bake it after it dries, and suddenly it disappears." He says to her, "I guess soil won't work here. We have to go look for mud somewhere." She said to him, "Would you allow me the honor of finding that for you? We come from the mountains, and as such we understand the land and what lies within it." He said to her, "I understand, but isn't it dangerous to go and search the area?" She told him, "As long as I didn't have to fight, I'd be perfectly fine." He said to her, "Just promise me that you will be careful," and give him the pottery, and Hirako rejoices. She says to him, "I did everything I could." He said to her, "I wonder if we can make cups, plates, and things." Hirako speaks, "They found another cell, and she told him that it is different from where Lamia lives. You found the entrance to the new cell in the north, near the mountains. I'd like your permission to send a squad to go there. That's one of the reasons we need to survey the area and find out more." They go to the pet group. He says the survey team was outside the investigation in the dungeon. The men's bathroom is finally finished. The dwarves and the lizard men can use it, and so can Dream when he visits. "So I certainly didn't build this until I could have it all for myself." He says it wasn't long since the dungeon survey squad came back and asks them, "What's the matter? Why are you all here?" She told him that we should send an extermination squad to the cell in the north. He told them, "Is there a problem?" She told him we made sure there was a blood snake inside. Hirako said that was the thing that was fighting the bear. She told him we must get its meat. Of course, the survival of our clan depends on our reaching it. It is really that important. She told him that the meat of the blood snake is of great value. Eating it makes your body overflowing with vitality and blesses you with children. And Hirako enters this girl and says to her, "Are you okay?" She said to him, "Maybe I had a cold." Tia said, "Isn't mixing different types of medicines your specialty?" She said I had never tried making medicine for myself before this. She said to them, "Don't worry, I'm sure I'll be fine if I rest for a while." He told her, "I hope that's all. Have you found yourself craving sour foods lately?" She told her, "I have no appetite, but I can still eat tomatoes and fruits." Tia said there was someone in Alawa village who said the same thing Leah said. "Didn't you find out yet?" Hirako said, "And this person, what happened to them?" She told him Lee congratulated them on the child and everyone was surprised.